Hey people, last time I was out, it got deeper than I had planned to get. This is, the water was up above here. Shout out to Outsiders Motor Company for their gaskets. I opened the air box up afterwards, and it was completely dry, not an ounce of water in there. So, Outsider Motor Company, go get those gaskets. They work awesome. But anyway, water was above the vent case for the clutch box, or vent hose, whatever. So the entire thing filled up with really nice, mucky, nasty water. So sorry for the lighting, but this is the clutch here. See that lip? That's just dirt. So shiny, dirty. Right now when I try to go anywhere, I have to get the RPMs up really high before it actually goes. So I'm going to take this off, the belt off, and clean it all up. So first steps, remove the seat. There's a bar that goes here. That's 415 millimeters. The clutch box, around there's 11 of these little guys. They're like screws with a bolt head. 10 millimeter for them. There's a couple over on this side that are hard to get to. You just kind of have to feel around. And there's one you get through under here. I kept on thinking that I had them all and then trying to pull the cover off, and there was still another one of those little guys hiding somewhere. So just to show you what the inside of my clutch box looks like. Yeah, that thing is completely coated with mud. So pretty much the entire thing was full of this nasty, muddy coal water. So we're gonna do soap and water on this, just some Dawn dish soap. Soap and water on the belt, and then when we take the clutch off and the secondary, we're gonna do some Scotch-Brite pads and some brake cleaning and some air. So I'll do those steps now. Things you need, obviously 15 millimeter, 10 millimeter. Helps to have a little ratcheting wrench that's just easy to get into places. And then the clutch puller. This is my buddy's from his 800 Sportsman, and I was told they were, well, looked online, and I think it's the same one. Alright, well, as you can see, this is what I had, and this is what the internet told me would work. This is what I just had to go buy, drive an hour, 30 minutes each way. Luckily they had it in stock. I put some lube on the threads there. Yeah, completely different. Here's the part number. Bought it from a Polaris dealer. You can probably buy them on Amazon for cheaper. This thing was like 40 bucks. Yeah, so, hey kids. Not everything you read on the internet is true. We obviously know that. But it seemed pretty confident that this would work. And I'm sure the threads are the same. But drastic difference in size. So that's another reason to like and subscribe to this channel. Let me make the mistakes for you so you get the right stuff. This is my first time taking this off and cleaning it. So live and learn. Get the right tools for the job. Oh yeah, forgot to mention the basics. Jack it up. Put jack stands under it so you're safe. And then when you're under here, while you're doing this, grease all your fittings. I have a video on where they're at. The newer Sportsmans, my buddy has a 570, newer one. Actually, a couple of my buddies do. And they don't have any Zerk fittings on the suspension points to grease the suspension. So Polaris made some magical bushings that never need grease, or when they need grease, you just get new ones. Look at that guy, little guardian angel. The other one fell off. He used to be right here. All right, let's get to it. A couple things to note when you take this stuff off, if you're gonna take it off. Use your handy dandy little Polaris tool. Get that guy in there and pry to the left, and that pushes the spring in, gives you some slack on the belt. Also, note the direction that you take the belt off. If you can see that the Polaris faces up this way, so I'm going to put it back on so the Polaris faces up that way, and obviously paint facing out. If it's a brand new belt, doesn't matter if you put it that way or flip it and come down. But this belt's been used for 400 and some miles, so you want to put it back on the way you take it off. And then this down here is an 18, and it's righty loosey, lefty tighty, so it's reverse of your normal direction. And then this bolt up here is a 15 millimeter. So to get this guy off here, position it so you can put a pry bar or crowbar through this area, nice and gentle like. So then when you crank on it, you can get the bolt loose. I'm not going to do this with holding the GoPro in one hand. So yeah, make sure you do it so it's not through here, because you don't want to press on any of this stuff. Crack that pretty easy, and then just righty loosey, which is weird, right? So when this comes out, there's a plastic bushing in there too, I believe. Yeah, there she is. So that plastic bushing you don't want to lose. If it gets stuck in there and damaged, get a new one. But this just slides out. Should slide out. Underneath the boot. There you go. So, keep all that intact. It's a little like lock bitey washer. Don't know what they're called. Bitey washer sounds good to me. Thick washer, then the plastic. So I'll clean that stuff up just a little bit, because while it's off, might as well clean it. And then we're gonna get the puller in there. Let's see how this one works. Oh my goodness. Slides right in there. This one is righty-tighty. So you righty-tighty it up, finger tight, until you get to a point. 7/8 fits on there. We got the bar back in. Put it on there. Tighten her up. Should pull. That was it. Yep. Loose. And that should come off. So I'm going to do it with two hands. Okay, like I said, remember the direction. You take your belt off. Polaris facing up. So that's out. Inspect the belt, make sure it's alright. Actually, I've got some nice wear right there, so I will probably buy a new belt, just because that does not look good right there. I will definitely buy a new belt. Make sure this guy spins free. Nice. And now we'll take the secondary off. That's a 15 millimeter. Stuck the pry bar down through here into there, and then it's a 15 millimeter either wrench or socket. It's on there pretty tight, so you got to really get that pry bar in there so it doesn't free spin. And then once you do, it's loose. You take it right off. Make sure when you take this out, leave all the washers in the same orientation. There's like 3 little washers. Sorry, focus there. 3 little washers, and then the big fat one. Just keep it all together. And then this should just come right off. Okay, to get the primary off here, or the secondary, sorry, this vent hose is in the way. So you have to take that off, which I believe entails, because there's a little like plastic push rivet thing up there to get to it somewhat easy and then be able to manage pulling it out and or moving it. I'm assuming you're gonna have to remove all the rear plastics, and I have my bag zip tied on there, and I could do that, but that's gonna take a lot longer and I ain't got time for that as usual. So I blew it out with air, got most of the dust and junk out of here. Then I'm gonna clean it when it's on here, because you can push it back and separate it and really get in there. So I could get in there to clean it. Be nicer if it wasn't on, but gotta deal with it. Now we're gonna blow out the clutch and clean her up. And of course I ran out of fluid. Empty. This one's full, but it doesn't work. So to the store again. All right, back. 2 new cans that work. Oh yeah. And your Scotch-Brite. So spray some brake stuff on there. That's obviously too much. And then an in and out motion all the way around. Get all that junk out of there. And I'll do that a couple times on both sides. This side, you can see that lip. And then over here, it's starting to go away and look nice. And then make sure you can spray it all over the place. Just make sure you blow it out with air, because you want it to be dry. All right, cleaned her up nice and good. Everything's dry. So I'm just let it sit out and go clean the secondary. Couple things while cleaning this. I'm gonna spray the brake cleaner on the Scotch-Brite pad and get in there. I don't want to spray brake cleaner all in the box there, because I don't know. I know it would leave a little bit of residue, and I don't want to get any of that on my belt. So we'll just take her easy with the brake cleaner inside here. And also, when you're using the brake cleaner and the air, it's a good idea to wear safety glasses. I'm not necessarily one for safety. Usually safety a third, but you don't want to get brake cleaner in your eyeballs. By no means am I a professional mechanic here. So we're just doing it as we go. So I did these same thing. Scotch-Brite pad, then got a little brake cleaner on some cloths and wiped it clean. And then I'm gonna try and do the center section there just to kind of get that clean it all up and blow it out. All right, so we cleaned out the inside of the box. I used just rags and water. So I got it wet, wiped it off, used a dry rag, wiped that off, and just did it a couple times until I got it nice and clean. I cleaned the bolt off, put that back in exactly what it was. I felt that it was good to put the pry bar this way on the outside instead of coming in from the top to tighten it. It was just easier, because when it was up top and I was trying to tighten it, it was spinning. So that's on there nice and good. Big important thing is to make sure this lip, both sides, left side, right side, is clean all the way around, because that is what makes a nice seal, so you don't get water and junk in your box just normally. So make sure that's nice and tidy all the way around. We got the new belt in the mail. That is the Super ATV Extreme Badass Performance Belt. and we're gonna throw this one on. So I'll follow up review and see how this thing performs. So we've got the clutch tool in there, pressing that. I have the new belt on, and I'm basically going to angle this in and around, get the, actually make that loose, get that on there, and down, and then it'll slide on there nicely, and that's on there. Get this on, little smack for good luck, and then we will put the big bolt back in here, and make sure you have plastic washer or spacer, thick washer, skinny, little, I don't know what the technical term for that is, but a bitey washer. And then we'll put all that back in there. Put that bolt back on there. Remember, lefty tighty, righty loosey, so lefty tighty. So we're gonna stick this pry bar back in there, nice and gentle like. 15mm wrench on there, and then we're going to crank it down. I'm not sure what the torque specs are, so you might want to look that up. I'm just gonna make it nice and snug and tight. Not death grip tight, but tight. And then pop your clutch tool out of there. Clutch is clean. New belt is on. Put the new belt on too. You want to kind of rotate this around a couple times just to make sure it's seated in there nicely. And when you do that, kind of pushes this back to where it goes, pushes that in. So, and then put it all back the way you took it apart. Somebody else told me it was a good idea. Just put a little bit of a, like a little bead of grease around here, just to kind of help water tightness. So we will do that. Water tightness, I don't know if that's a, so it'll help keep the seal watertight, I guess. If it doesn't work, I'll let you know. Again, I'm just trying it out first time here, so hopefully it works, because if it doesn't, that would suck. Don't want to get grease on your belt, obviously.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what?
Nash and Mommy are going to do the walk.
You're not going?
No, because I'm going to play with mud.
Okay. Family's going for a walk. You don't need to watch me do this whole thing. Hopefully this helps. I'm going to do the fluid changes next video or whatever, but next meaning right now. Later. Like, subscribe, help me out. All right, see you.